The funeral hall was deathly quiet. Jun Seo stood silently beside the portraits of her deceased parents, the air heavy with grief. She quietly mourned her loss, tears streaming down her face as her heart clung to the only family she had left, her grandfather. Since she was a child, he had been her only support. He was the one who held and protected her after her parents' tragic death. From that moment on, Jun Seo silently vowed to do anything to make him happy. But even the strongest anchors weaken over time. Recently, Jun Seo discovered a painful truth. Her grandfather was in the final stages of pancreatic cancer, with little time left. And in his final days, he had only one wish, to see her married before he passed away. Jun Seo's heart tightened. Marriage? She was too young. It all felt so rushed, yet. His worry about her future left her no choice but to seriously consider it. At university, Seok Hyun, her carefree and charming friend who always lightened her mood, walked up to Jun Seo. A sudden idea flashed in her mind, and she impulsively pulled him out of the classroom into the hallway. She hesitated for a moment, then blurted out, "Seok Hyun, marry me." Seok Hyun froze, stunned for a few seconds. Then a smile spread across his face. "Of course, this is really sudden, but how could I refuse when you're the one proposing?" Then he laughed and added, "But let's wait until we're 30, okay?" Just as Jun Seo opened her mouth to explain, his phone rang, cutting her off. A friend was calling to meet up with some pretty girls nearby. His smile widened. "Sounds fun, let's talk more tomorrow, Jun Seo." "I have to go now." "Okay," Jun Seo forced a smile. "Yeah, go on, I was just joking." Seok Hyun chuckled and gently flicked her cheek. "I know, but you still made my heart pound." With that, he waved goodbye and walked off campus. Jun Seo watched him disappear, her chest tight with frustration. She muttered, "What was I thinking? What was I expecting from someone who's never serious?" The thought raced through her mind. For once, couldn't you just be serious with me? Didn't I look serious enough? Lost in thought, she accidentally bumped into someone, startled. She quickly looked up. "I'm sorry." The cold-looking man cut her off. "Watch where you're going next time." Annoyed by his tone, Jun Seo shot back. "If you saw I wasn't paying attention, you could have stepped aside. You just walked right into me. Was it on purpose?" Before he could reply, a car came speeding towards her. The man quickly grabbed her arm, yanking her out of the way. The force of the pull sent her falling into his chest, their faces so close their lips accidentally brushed. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then realizing what happened, the man instantly released her. Jun Seo stumbled back, her face beat red. He said coolly in an indifferent tone, "Don't get the wrong idea." Then he brushed his sleeve and turned away. "Right, the car just zoomed past." He said coldly, "I only pulled you back for your safety." "Right, thank you," she stammered, hastily straightening up. Avoiding his eyes, she thought, "Let's just forget this happened. We both just had a bad day." Not waiting for a reply, she turned to walk away, but his teasing voice sounded from behind her. She froze. "Are you leaving without thanking me for saving your life?" The corners of his mouth lifted in a teasing smile. His eyes held a mischievous glint. "Or are you going to leave without paying me back for that kiss?" Still shaken from the near miss, Jun Seo shot back. "A kiss? Our lips barely touched. Don't overreact." She added dryly, "What? Don't tell me that was your first kiss." He smirked. "What makes you say that? You look more like the one who's never been kissed." Annoyed, Jun Seo shot back. "You're not that great. I don't even remember kissing you." His smile widened. "How strange. People don't usually forget their first kiss." As if. Her anger flared at his mocking tone. "My first kiss? You must be delusional. Excuse me, you were just number 108, so there was nothing memorable about it." With that, she spun around and left. "And don't talk to me again, you creep." He stood watching her walk away, a hint of amusement in his eyes. He murmured quietly, "Number 108. How interesting." Back in class, Jun Seo was spacing out. Around her, friends were chattering about upcoming parties, but she paid them no mind. As always, he joked around with the group, his bright smile livening up the atmosphere. Suddenly, the lecturer walked in, and the class went quiet. "Good morning, everyone." A friend turned to Jun Seo, gossiping about the new guy. The lecturer announced in a serious tone, "Today, we have a guest lecturer who will be with the class for the coming semester, Mr. Kang." A calm, deep male voice said, "Hello everyone, my name is Kang Jun." Jun Seo froze, her eyes wide in horror. She clutched her notebook, her face a mix of shock and confusion. Her mind screamed, "It's that jerk from yesterday." Her cheeks flushed, and she quickly lowered her head, muttering in panic, "I'm mistaken, right? Please let me be wrong." "Yes," the main lecturer said, "you can start your class now." The students started whispering among themselves, "Wow, we're so lucky. He's so handsome. I'm definitely never going to skip this class. Haha." But Jun Seo stayed hidden behind her book, peeking out cautiously. The memory of yesterday's accidental kiss replayed in her head. Her face turned red, and she bit down hard on her notebook. The friend next to her asked in alarm, "Jun Seo, what's wrong with you?" "What?" Suddenly his voice cut through her thoughts clearly. "What is the name of the student hugging her book so tightly?" "Sir." Jun Seo flinched, going rigid. "I'm Choi Jun Seo, sir." She tried to keep her voice calm. A mischievous smile played on his lips. "Miss Choi," he said slowly, "I didn't realize." Biting your book helps you absorb the lesson better. The class erupted in laughter, and Jun Seo's face burned red before she could recover. His smile grew wider as he slowly turned a page. Then why don't you try explaining page 108? Her heart skipped a beat at his deliberate pause. Oh, my mistake. He smiled slyly. I meant page 108. Oh, my mistake. I meant page 1.8. His eyes glinted with amusement as he spoke. Please enlighten us, Miss Choi. His smirk was undeniable. He was clearly enjoying her discomfort. After class, Soo-jin casually approached Professor Kang. Why didn't you tell me you were going to teach here? Her tone was light and teasing. Want to grab coffee? She offered, but Kang Jun Young maintained a polite but distant demeanor. I have something to handle immediately after this, and it wouldn't be appropriate. A classmate's eyes widened in surprise. Whoa, Soo-jin, you know him? Soo-jin replied casually. Yeah, our families are acquainted. A little later, a friend of Jun Seo's asked if she wanted to get some ramen, but she declined. I think I'll just head home. I'm a little tired. She walked down the hall with a forced smile. She saw Kang Jun Young walking ahead of her. Gathering her courage, she called out, Professor Kang, could I speak with you for a second? He stopped and turned, his sharp eyes locking onto hers. I'm sorry about what happened the other day. She started hesitantly, but can we please keep that out of the classroom? That? He asked, his voice unreadable. Don't you remember me? A mocking smirk appeared in his eyes. I never bring personal matters to class. I was merely behaving as a professor should with a student. His voice dropped, laced with sarcasm. Don't flatter yourself. She opened her mouth to respond but was speechless. He turned and walked away, leaving her there. Frustration swelled inside her. That night, in her apartment, Jun Seo's phone buzzed. It was her grandfather. She answered quickly. Jun Seo, how are you? He asked cheerfully. I'm doing well, and you? He replied, haha, I'm doing well. Listen, I'm coming to the city this Saturday to meet the son of an old friend. You should come along too. I don't have any plans, so sure, she said. Great, I'll pick you up early. See you then. The call ended, leaving her staring at her phone in deep thought. The next day, the air was cool and crisp. Jun Seo went with her grandfather to a luxurious villa. Kang Tae-jin, her grandfather, called warmly as the host came out to welcome them. The chairman of such a big company, and you still come to the gate yourself to greet visitors? Her grandfather teased. I had to. I wanted to meet this young lady for myself, Kang Tae-jin said with a laugh. Jun Seo bowed politely in greeting. Her grandfather made the introductions. This is Kang Tae-jin and his wife Hae-suk, the son of my late friend Kang Dong-gu. They were also very close with your parents. And the chairman of the Taiji group. It's very nice to meet you. Jun Seo smiled sweetly. You've really grown into a beautiful young woman. Terry, he said warmly. Ah, let's go inside. Tae-jin gestured for them to follow as he walked and spoke. Your family has helped us so much. If it weren't for your family, Tae-jin Corp wouldn't be where it is today. Don't say that, Grandpa, she cut in, waving her hand to refuse the praise. Mrs. Hae-suk opened the door, and the house's interior was breathtaking. The architecture was modern and luxurious. Jun Seo paused for a moment, quite surprised by the family's wealth. As they entered the house, Tae-jin sighed softly, his tone apologetic. Jun-se, I truly regret not contacting you. After your parents passed away, I should have. Ahi-suk gently interrupted him. Her voice was gentle and comforting. Now, let's not talk about such heavy topics, dear. Tae-jin immediately broke into a warm smile, changing the atmosphere. If you don't mind, please think of us as family. I'd be so happy to finally have a daughter. And add another sister to our brood of children, Ahi-suk teased, shaking her head with a smile. You're embarrassing the girl again. You've always wanted a daughter, and now you're taking your chance. Tae-jin turned back, his eyes full of pride, pointing and saying, Ah, there he is. Our second son, Jun Seo, say hello. The young man bowed politely. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Kang Jun Se. While everyone was still talking, confident footsteps echoed from the hallway. Everyone turned to look as the eldest son entered the room. The atmosphere suddenly grew tense for a moment. As Jun Seo's eyes met Kang Jun Young's, the man who had saved her from a speeding car just a few days ago. Her eyes widened in astonishment. They both froze, their gazes locked, unable to believe the irony of the moment. Jun Seo opened the door and went outside. Jun Young followed right behind her and suddenly spoke with a hint of mockery. Fate sure has a sense of humor, doesn't it? Jun Se was startled for a second, then turned back. Haha, you're right, it's a small world. She took a deep breath, trying to suppress her annoyance. How about we start over? Thank you for saving my life. Her voice was polite but distant. Jun Young's eyes twinkled mischievously as he replied, Oh, you said you didn't remember anything, but now you even remember that kiss. Jun Seo snapped, her face flushing. There's no need to mention the details. And yes, I remember everything clearly, Professor. She added the last part with a forced smile. He chuckled softly, his voice low. Outside of class, just call me Jun Young. Jun Seo waved her hands, shaking her head. How could I? You're older and clearly more experienced. His smile deepened. Oh, experience? You mean experience with first kisses? But how can I compare to you, who's kissed 108 times? Her face burned, and she glared at him in embarrassment, but he just chuckled nonchalantly. Isn't that right, Miss Choi? Anger surged, and she nearly shouted, You're unbearable! For my grandfather's and your parents' sake, I'm trying to be civil. But she pointed a finger at him. You better watch it. Outside, we don't know each other at all, got it? He shrugged nonchalantly. Same here. Pretending to be nice doesn't suit me. He leaned slightly towards her, his voice lower. And it doesn't suit you either. With that, he turned and walked away, leaving Jun Seo frozen to the spot. Her fists clenched, trembling with anger. Back at school, her friend Gyeong-eun whispered, Jun Seo, I think Professor Kang has his eye on you. Jun Seo glanced over. What? Has his eye on me to vent his anger? That's right, like that time you were just a little late for class. The moment you walked into class, you got busted. Seok Hyun was late too, but nothing happened to him. Come on, Gyeong-eun, it wasn't that big of a deal. The classy girl Sujin, sitting opposite, chimed in, that's not it. As far as I know, Jun Young only likes classy and intelligent girls. After her jab, Sujin acted all innocent. Oops, I didn't mean you're not classy, Jun Seo. But I just know the type Jun Young prefers. Yeah, Jun Seo said calmly. It's fine, he's not my type either. I'm currently looking for a future husband, but I wouldn't even consider that Kang Jun Young guy. The classy Sujin poked fun. Even if you considered him, it probably wouldn't be your turn anyway. Anyway, I have to go. Bye-bye. As soon as she finished, she grabbed her coffee cup and stood up. Jun Seo didn't understand what was happening, but her friend was furious at Sujin's arrogance. Gyeong-eun turned, stunned. Jun Se, are you looking for a husband? You're not joking, are you? You want to get married? Yeah. Jun Se was silent for a moment, then confided her story to her friend. Her friend's eyes went wide. What? Really? Yeah, it's true. I even tried some dating apps yesterday. Then I even asked Seok Hyun. Gyeong-eun said, annoyed. What? Damn? Seok Hyun? Jun Seo explained, but he already turned me down. He just thought I was joking. Then Gyeong-eun couldn't hold back and scolded her. You need a mature, decent man. Not just anyone will do. Suddenly, her friend's face lit up as if she had a great idea. I know. My aunt has a matchmaking company. Let me arrange a blind date for you, without waiting for Jun Seo's reply. She sealed the deal. This Saturday, okay? Just leave it to me. Saturday, at a hotel. Jun Seo sat waiting for her blind date. When the man appeared, he greeted her politely, but just a few minutes later, he was boasting non-stop about his own good looks. The next Saturday, she met another man. This one was too strict about food. So much so that he didn't let her eat comfortably. He was like a nutritionist, analyzing how many calories, how much sugar a piece of cake had, blah blah blah. This made her freeze up completely. Oh, for heaven's sake. In the following weeks, Jun Seo continued to meet all sorts of men. Some were too bold, even hitting on her bluntly, while others were superstitious. To the point of telling her creepy and unsettling ghost stories, she gradually realized how truly difficult it was to find a suitable person. But then, one Saturday, she met a man who seemed sincere. While she was lost in thought, she accidentally dropped her teacup, and he immediately offered her a handkerchief. That small gesture sparked a little hope in Jun Seo's heart. Maybe there were still decent men out there. Meanwhile, on the other side of the hotel, Jun Young sat in a chair, frowning and arguing with his mother on the phone. Why did you make a promise without asking me first? He said, annoyed. His mother calmly replied, it wasn't me, it was my friend. She wants to introduce her daughter to you. It wasn't me, it was my friend. She wants to introduce her daughter to you, seeing as your company is doing well, so she wants to introduce her daughter. Just as he ended the call, a voice called his name. A young woman stood before him, smiling brightly. He remembered what his mother had told him earlier. Just try meeting her. Her family is powerful in both business and politics. You know that besides ability, business also requires political connections. Think carefully, my son. You understand what I mean, don't you? The girl sat down gracefully, picked up her teacup, and took a sip, looking a bit shy. Jun Young thought for a moment, then asked seriously, you look very familiar. Have we met before? The girl smiled brightly and replied, yes, at Prince Ivan's birthday party last year. Without letting him react, she began to ramble on about how she could help him expand his business thanks to her relationship with the prince. But Jun Young grew more and more uncomfortable. Excuse me, I have to go, the girl said, trying to save face, admitting she had come at a bad time. Then she quickly left. When she was out of sight, Jun Young sighed in relief and leaned back in his chair, enjoying a rare moment of peace. On the other side of the hotel, Jun Seo's date was initially going quite smoothly. Jun Se was stunned, the shock clear on her face. Seeing her reaction, the man suddenly grabbed her hand, his voice low. Don't pretend with me. I know your type. Low class, desperate to find a sugar daddy. Come to my room, or I'll call the police. Anger flared, and Jun Seo looked him straight in the eye and retorted. Hey, do you think I'm some kind of cheap girl? Don't you dare use the police as an excuse. I'm not afraid. Just then, Jun Young was walking by. He stopped short, hearing a vaguely familiar voice. The other man ignored Jun Seo's defiant attitude. Just satisfy me, and I'll give you money right away. Jun Seo gritted her teeth, trying to contain her rage, But before the man could say another word, his hand was grabbed and yanked back. Startled, she looked up to see Jun Young standing there, his ice-cold gaze fixed on the other man. His grip was so strong that the man winced, stumbling back in pain without a word. Jun Young took Jun Seo's hand and pulled her away from there. She stumbled along behind him, trying to keep up with his hurried steps, and pulled her away from there. She stumbled along behind him, trying to keep up with his hurried steps. She glanced down at her hand, held tightly in his, and said awkwardly, "You can let go now." Jun Young let go and asked directly, "So you came here for a blind date?" Annoyed. She snapped, "Whatever it is, it's none of your business." So Jun Young turned back, looking at her clothes with a teasing smirk. "It's definitely a date, or maybe that guy was right." Her face flushed red. "It's definitely a date, or maybe that guy was right." Her face flushed red. She quickly denied it, then plopped down on a nearby chair and sighed. Calming down, she explained, "My grandfather is sick. It's his last wish to see me get married. My friend's aunt runs a matchmaking service, so I thought I'd give it a try." Jun Young's face turned serious. "I thought marriage and love were every girl's dream. So are you okay with going on blind dates like this?" Jun Seo sighed, her gaze distant. "It's not easy at all, but I don't need love. Right now my grandfather is the most important thing. I just need the status of being married." Jun Young watched her intently. As if lost in thought, she spoke softly, her gaze lowered. "I really thought that guy was a decent person. I thought I could finally fulfill my grandfather's wish." Jun Young pulled a chair over and sat beside her. After a moment of thought, he looked directly into her eyes and said calmly, "Choi Jun Seo, marry me." Jun Seo was stunned, her eyes wide with surprise. A second later, she let out a forced laugh. "Are you kidding?" But he remained serious. "You once said if someone proposed to you, you wouldn't refuse, right?" Her smile faded. "Yes, but why you?" Jun Young leaned towards her, his voice steady. "Because this is mutually beneficial for us. We meet each other's standards. And our families know each other. Your grandfather would be happy if you married me." She narrowed her eyes in suspicion. "So what do you get out of this?" He replied simply, "I need the status of a husband just like you need the status of a wife." It was then that she finally understood, her eyes widening. "Wait a minute, don't tell me you're here for." Jun Young cut her off, his voice firm. "Yes. I don't want to waste time on pointless blind dates. If I married someone else, I'd have to deal with their feelings. But you only care about the status. How about it? It's convenient for both of us." Jun Seo looked at him thoughtfully and mumbled, "I find it hard to imagine us married." Then after a moment of silence, Jun Seo said, "Can I think about it for a bit?" Jun Seo looked at him thoughtfully and mumbled, "I find it hard to imagine us married." Then after a moment of silence, "Meet me at the parking lot where we first met. If you don't show up, I'll take it as a no. That's the deal." 3 days later, at the parking lot, Jun Young was waiting as promised. He glanced at his watch, 4:50. His eyes scanned the quiet, deserted road ahead. As the minutes ticked by, he looked at his watch again. It was now 5:10. He unlocked his car, thinking to himself, what am I even expecting? But just as he was about to get in the car, a voice called his name. He turned to see Jun Seo running towards him. Her breath was ragged. "Sorry, I'm late," she said, panting. "My class ran later than I expected." Jun Young's expression remained stern. He replied, "You're 10 minutes late." His tone was slightly annoyed, his expression cold, but he was secretly happy inside. See, his tone already changed from formal to familiar. She was still trying to catch her breath. Jun Seo replied, "I came to accept your offer, but on one condition." She stood tall, looking at him with a determined gaze. Jun Seo replied, "I came to accept your offer, but on one condition." She stood tall, looking at him with a determined gaze. "I want to keep this marriage a secret at least until I graduate. You're a very popular professor. If this gets out, I'll be in huge trouble." A slight smile on his lips, Jun Young nodded. "Okay," he extended his hand for a shake and said, "In that case, it's a pleasure working with you, Miss Choi." But he suddenly pulled her close, causing her to stumble into his arms. Startled, she placed her hands on his chest to push him away. "What are you doing? Why are you suddenly hugging me like that?" He leaned in with a small smile. "Well, we're a couple now, aren't we? We should start looking the part." At the Kang family mansion during dinner, the atmosphere suddenly tensed as all eyes fell on Jun Young. After announcing he had something to say, he stated calmly, "I'm going to marry Jun Seo." His father's face lit up. "Mr. Choi's granddaughter, that's wonderful news," he said cheerfully. In contrast, his mother's expression was tense and grim. His father nodded. "I had a feeling when they visited, but I wasn't sure." Jun Young replied calmly, "We've been dating for a long time." His mother cut him off, her voice, firm yet cautious. "How long have you two been dating?" "Just last week you were still teaching at her school. Deciding to get married like this, isn't it too sudden?" Jun Young looked her straight in the eye and answered clearly, "We were in love before I even started teaching at her school. I just hadn't told you and Dad yet." Then with a faint smile he added, "And that's why I hated it, when you kept forcing me to go on blind dates with your friends' daughters. Don't worry, Mom, I'm marrying Jun Seo because I love her." Her eyes widened slightly, a flicker of panic in them. Does he even know what real love is? She thought to herself, annoyed, clutching the ring on her finger, but her expression remained calm. She forced a smile. "Why don't you bring her here? I want to talk to her myself." On the other end of the line, Jun Seo froze when she heard the news. Worried, she asked, "What if your mother gets suspicious?" Jun Young's voice was calm. "Just stick to what we discussed. Answer everything according to the plan. I'll wait at the usual spot. Don't be late." The call ended and Jun Seo stared at her phone. Her anxiety was building. How could she possibly stay calm? The next day at the Kang residence, Mrs. Kang greeted her with a sarcastic tone. Jun Young, let you come here alone? Jun Seo answered awkwardly. He had something urgent come up, so I came by myself. Mrs. Kang watched her for a moment, then said, he told us about the marriage. But you're still a student, isn't this too rushed? Jun Seo sat up straight and answered firmly. We've decided to keep it a secret. Until I graduate. Still suspicious. Mrs. Kang pressed on her voice sharp. How long have you two been dating? Feeling the tension, Jun Seo tried to keep her voice steady as she reassured her. We are really serious about this. Mrs. Kang seemed to soften her gaze gentler. It's not that I dislike you, I just wanted to ask a few things. She looked directly into Jun Seo's eyes, her voice serious. Do you truly love my son? Trying to sound sincere, Jun Seo replied, I love him with all my heart. She said it, but she was trying really hard. Trying to make it seem real, Mrs. Kang narrowed her eyes and asked, so does Jun Young love you? Jun Seo froze her mind, racing for an answer. Before she could speak, a familiar voice rang out. Shouldn't you be asking me that question, Mom? Startled, Jun Seo turned to see Jun Young walk into the room. He wrapped an arm around her shoulder, pulling her close, and looked at Mrs. Kang, his voice firm. I already told you we love each other. What else do we have to do to make you believe us? He looked down at Jun Seo, his lips curling into a teasing smile. Mom didn't ask you anything too strange, did she, my love? Flustered Jun Seo shook her head and answered quietly. No, she was just worried about you. Oh my god, this guy is such a good actor. He can call me my love so sweetly. Mrs. Kang watched in silence, her worries growing heavier. After leaving the house, Jun Seo scolded him in frustration. Did you really have to be so extra? Otherwise, how would my mom believe us? Jun Young replied casually. She said, annoyed. You didn't have to hug me like that. He smirked. You should have seen your own face when my mom was asking you were so flustered. It was funny, especially when I hugged you. She huffed. How could I not be flustered? We barely know each other, and you didn't even warn me you were coming. Jun Seo just mumbled a thank you and rushed to open the car door, but before she could get out, Jun Young grabbed her hand and brought it to his lips for a light kiss. He grinned teasingly. Looks like we need to practice. Jun Seo's eyes widened, her face flushed red. Practice? She stammered. Yeah, practice, he replied casually. We have to look like a real couple at all times. She snatched her hand back and replied annoyed. That's not necessary, I can handle it myself. He tilted his head teasingly. See, you're already getting flustered, just like right now. He leaned in closer, the playful look in his eyes growing as he saw her face turn beet red. Panicking, she pushed him away hard. I said I don't need it. She cried out and quickly opened the car door to get out. As soon as she turned away, her phone rang. It was her grandfather. She quickly answered. On the other end, his voice was warm and playful. Why didn't you tell your grandpa sooner? I would have approved your marriage right then and there. Hearing the joy in his voice, Jun Seo's lips curved into a small smile. But her heart ached a little. There was no turning back now. The call ended. She turned back, leaning down through the car window. So let's practice. Inside the car, as she leaned closer, he asked hesitantly. Do we really have to practice kissing? He glanced at her, his eyes twinkling mischievously. What do you think? Without waiting for her answer, he gently held her neck and lifted her face. A moment later, his lips touched hers. She froze, her eyes wide with shock. But as the moment stretched on and the kiss deepened, she slowly sank into it. After what felt like an eternity, Jun Young pulled back with a faint smile, his thumb gently stroking her lips. That's called a wedding kiss. We're getting married soon, so it makes sense to practice beforehand, right? She was still flustered. She just nodded slightly and hurriedly got out of the car. Inside, Jun Young leaned back in his seat, rubbing the back of his neck. His cheeks flushed slightly as the image replayed in his mind. But the next day at school, Jun Seo looked towards her friends. Suddenly, she remembered what she had told Jun. Let's keep last night a secret. But can I tell one friend? I need someone to share this with. And he had agreed. Looking at her friends, she hesitated, wondering who to trust. Soo-jin was definitely a no-go. If she found out, it would become a never-ending drama for sure. To introduce them, this sassy redhead is Soo-jin, a girl who gets jealous easily and loves to make snide remarks. This playful guy is Jun Seok Hyun, a cheerful and charming person who loves to flirt. Seok Hyun knows a lot of girls, and the whole school knows it. And this unpleasant short-haired girl is Chagi, the grumpy one. She likes being sarcastic, is hard to befriend and hard to approach. Thinking about her friends, she asked herself, who can I trust with my secret? Later, while walking with Kyung-eun, she mustered up the courage to say, I have something to tell you. Kyung-eun squinted teasingly. What is it? Are you getting married or something? Jun Seo said awkwardly, actually, you're right. Kyung-eun froze, her eyes widening. What? With who? We can't let anyone else hear. Jun Seo pulled her to a quiet corner. When they were alone, she took a deep breath and said clearly, I'm going to marry Mr. Kang. Kyung-eun pointed a finger, almost shouting, I knew it. I knew there was something going on between you two. Shh, keep it down, Jun Seo whispered, trying to calm her. You're the only one who knows, so please keep it a secret from me. Her friend nodded slightly and hugged her tightly. Okay, I promise. Congratulations. You finally found a solution. But just 1 month later, Kyung-eun's smile faded, replaced by a look of concern. But why did he propose? What's the reason? Well, Jun Seo decided to be honest. He's like me. He needs the status and doesn't want to waste time. Kyung-eun thought for a moment and then suddenly asked, wait, don't tell me he's the one who saved you from those blind dates? Before Jun Seo could answer, Kyung-eun grinned mischievously. He's totally your Prince Charming, riding in on a white horse to save you. While Kyung-eun let her imagination run wild, Jun Seo could only roll her eyes but couldn't react in time. Seok Hyun appeared from behind, asking cheerfully, "What are you two whispering about?" Then he led them both towards the campus coffee shop. "Let's go get some coffee." In Just Cafe, Jun Young sat quietly, sipping his coffee. Through the glass window, he caught sight of a group of 3 people laughing and talking happily as they approached. His eyes landed on one of them, the person who was about to become his wife, Jun Seo. Her radiant smile lit up her face, and he found himself unable to look away. Suddenly, a voice pulled him back to reality. Jun Young. He turned to see Soo-jin standing beside him and smiled in greeting. "Hi, Soo-jin." She casually sat down next to him with a bright smile. "If I had known you were here, I would have joined sooner." As they were talking, the group of friends entered the cafe. Seeing Soo-jin, Seok Hyun waved enthusiastically. "Soo-jin, and Mr. Kang is here too." His voice was full of surprise. Seok Hyun turned. Seok Hyun excitedly invited them. "We're about to get something to eat. You and Soo-jin should come with us." Jun Young glanced at Jun Seo. She subtly gestured for him to say no, her eyes pleading, but the corner of his lip curled up as he pretended not to see. He turned back to Seok Hyun. "Sure, why not? Yeah, awesome. Let's go now," Seok Hyun exclaimed, his eyes shining. At the restaurant, Jun Seo couldn't relax with Jun Yang there. The atmosphere was awkward. It made her want to just get up and leave. As usual, Seok Hyun placed a soft-boiled egg on her plate. "You like this, don't you?" Soo-jin sat beside him, staring intently at Kang Jun Young, but Jun Young just looked straight ahead. His gaze briefly stopped on the two of them. Noticing that look, Seok Hyun smiled and explained, "Jun Seo is from Gojam Island. Everyone there loves eggs prepared this way." Jun Seo's face turned beet red. She thought to herself, "Can't you just shut up for a minute?" Jun Young gave a faint smile. "Oh, I didn't know that." Seok Hyun chimed in quickly. "I've tried it once. It's delicious." "You should try it next time too, Mr. Kang." Hearing him say that makes it sound worth trying. "Why did you only order a drink? Do you need anything else?" Soo-jin said shyly. "No, it's okay. I ate a little earlier." Kyung-eun teased, "Soo-jin would never eat cheap food like this." Jun Young turned towards Jun Seo. "So Jun Seo used to live in Gogam? When did you move to Seoul?" Before she could answer, Seok Hyun cut in again. She moved here when she started university. Before that, she lived with her maternal grandfather in Gogam. Without a second thought, Seok Hyun casually picked food from her plate with his chopsticks. Annoyed, she snapped, "Hey, don't use your chopsticks to take food from my plate. Just take the whole thing if you want." Soo-jin witnessed the squabble and burst out laughing. "Oh my god, you two are so cute. Are you guys dating or something?" Seok Hyun also grinned widely and naturally put his arm around Jun Seo's shoulder. "Haha, no way. You know how close the two of us are." But Jun Seo retorted, "Me and Seok Hyun? You must be kidding." Jun Young remained silent. His expression was unreadable as he watched them. Jun Seo felt that something was off. Soo-jin looked thoughtful, and Kyung-eun sighed softly. She also felt that this situation was very strange. After eating, Seok Hyun and Soo-jin got up, excused themselves, and waved goodbye. Then they left for their club activities. The remaining 3 waved back. Kyung-eun could clearly feel the tension. She quickly said she should probably head back first, so Jun Seo was about to go with her. But before she could take a step, Jun Young grabbed her bag from behind to stop her. Seeing this, Jun Seo just said softly, "Okay, you go on ahead." When only the two of them were left, Jun Young looked straight at her. He said coldly, "You should have told me sooner that you have a boyfriend. This is so awkward." Annoyed, Jun Seo snapped back. "He's not my boyfriend." She glared at him fiercely. "Then why did you even agree to come?" Jun Young replied nonchalantly, "We agreed to keep our relationship a secret at school. But that doesn't mean we pretend not to know each other. I was just acting naturally in front of the students." Looking at him, Jun Seo thought to herself, "I know this is just a fake marriage, but how can he be so calm?" He turned and started walking toward the car. Her heart sank. She told herself, "What did I expect from someone like him?" Suddenly, he held out his hand to her. She was stunned and asked softly, "What?" He said casually, "We have to practice when we get the chance, right?" She hesitated, looking at him for a few seconds. Finally, she placed her hand in his and walked beside him. Hand in hand, she thought to herself. This relationship has no feelings anyway, right? She told herself with determination. If he can be cold, so can I. When they got to the car, Jun Young slowly opened the door and remarked, "I see you're still not used to holding hands." The corner of his lip curved into a half smile. "But we've kissed 108 times already. You should be an expert by now." Then, Jun Seo glared at him. Not knowing whether to be angry or just let it go, she let out a sigh and said softly, "Sorry." She proactively took his hand again. "Like this or like this?" While trying a few different ways of holding hands, she muttered, "Which one looks more romantic?" Jun Young gently squeezed her hand, interlocking their fingers. "Like this," he said, his steady gaze never leaving her. As Jun Seo looked at him, she felt the warmth from his hand for a moment. Her heart suddenly skipped a beat, and she didn't even know why. Later, when Jun Seo was confiding in Kyung-eun, her friend asked worriedly, "This marriage is legal, but it's not a real marriage. How long are you two planning to keep up this pretense?" Kyung-eun looked at her seriously. Jun Seo thought quietly, "She's right, I need to come up with a plan." She pondered, Jun Young is a successful businessman. There's no way he hasn't calculated all of this. But what about me? Am I just gonna follow his lead without thinking for myself? The next day, in Jun Young's car, she handed him a piece of paper. "What's this?" he asked, frowning. "It's an agreement," she replied confidently. He took a copy. It was a marriage contract. To make sure neither of us is at a disadvantage, Jun Young carefully examined the paper, muttering softly, that's right, as he read each clause. First point, keep the marriage a secret. That's reasonable, but it would be clearer to call it marital status. He glanced at her. I have no problem with the first point, but if you tell one of your friends, I'll tell one of my friends too. Moving on, I read the second point, proper conduct. I agree with this one too. Then I got to the third point, separate personal lives. I read it out loud. Before I could say anything, she cut in. Right, we're not really a married couple, so we can do whatever we want. I smirked, raising an eyebrow. So you can freely go out with your boyfriend, right? She frowned and denied it. It's not like that. My eyes twinkled mischievously as I continued reading. I don't agree with the fourth point, I said suddenly. How will our families believe it if we don't act affectionate in front of them? She replied firmly, it doesn't have to be all the time, but you have to give me a heads up. I shook my head. That's not realistic. We'll have to improvise. She retorted, but we don't even see them that often. We can prepare beforehand. I leaned back comfortably, dropping a bomb that stunned her. Oh, I almost forgot. After the wedding, my mother wants us to stay at the main house until you graduate. That's one of the conditions. She looked both surprised and annoyed, and I was only telling her now, ignoring her irritated expression. I continued, so points 4 and 5 should be removed. As for point 6, I paused, glancing at her. If your grandfather passes away, you won't have any leverage either. I get it. Her anger flared. Why does point 5 have to be removed? I replied simply. But with us living so close, I don't see the need. My smile deepened, my eyes boring into hers. Why? You think I'm going to do something to you? Or are you afraid you'll catch feelings? Her face flushed with anger as she glared at me. Fine. She gritted her teeth and crossed out point 4. But point 5 stays. I'll revise point 4. She handed the revised version to me. I read it out loud. No sleeping in the same bed. Exactly right, she answered firmly. This marriage is just a transaction. Not an emotional one, right? I didn't say another word, just took the pen and signed the paper. She looked at me seriously, then said, after you've signed, close your eyes. I frowned slightly, not understanding why, but before I could process her words, I saw her leaning towards me, her eyes slightly closed. I froze, my mind went blank, thoughts swirling. She slowly opened her eyes, noticing my hesitation. Awkwardly, she cupped my cheeks. Oh, sorry. I forgot to take off my hat. I was just practicing for the wedding. But before she could finish, I reached out, took off her hat, and tossed it aside. In one decisive move, I leaned down, holding her face with both hands. The wedding kiss, I whispered, my voice low, is initiated by the groom. Her heart pounded as I moved closer, my gaze locked on hers. Her breath hitched as my lips met hers, the kiss deepening as we got lost in the moment. As the days passed and the wedding drew near, she slowly began to realize the significance of that moment, while her phone buzzed incessantly with all sorts of updates. Making reservations, arranging the ceremony, and a ton of other small details, she visited each venue. With Jun Young's mother, from choosing the bedroom to cake tasting and trying on wedding dresses. One afternoon, as she put on her wedding dress and stood before the mirror, a wave of emotion washed over her. This marriage, even though it was a mutually beneficial contract, still felt very real. She stared at her reflection in the mirror, her emotions in turmoil. The ceremony was to be held at the family villa on Goj Island. Walking through the garden, she saw the bustling preparations, with fresh flower decorations and tables and chairs being set up. But she couldn't understand why she wasn't happy. Inside, she approached her aunt, her face worried. Where's Jun Young? I haven't seen him yet, she replied. Her aunt sighed. He should have been here by now, and I still haven't met him. It's truly disappointing. Hearing that, a pang of anxiety struck Jun Seo's heart. A vague emptiness began to creep in. Suddenly, someone called her name. She turned to the door, and there he was, her fiancé, with his luggage beside him, his expression calm yet welcoming. A wave of relief washed over her, making her heart feel suddenly lighter. He noticed her expression. Jun Young walked over, gently taking the box she was holding. Sorry, he said. I came without telling you. Before they could say more, Aunt Sun Guillaume appeared, and Jun Seo quickly introduced Jun Young to her. As her aunt and Jun Young chatted about the ceremony, Jun Seo's gaze quietly rested on him. She didn't realize a small smile had formed on her lips. A feeling of genuine peace and happiness crept into her heart. That evening at the Choi family's house, everyone gathered around the dinner table, chatting comfortably. Ji-sung gently chided, "You need to eat more. Or you'll faint on your wedding day," Jun Se's aunt protested. "If she eats too much, the dress won't fit." Aunt Jiang, sitting nearby, chimed in calmly. "Don't worry, Auntie. After the wedding, I'll make sure she eats well." Jun Seo's aunt nodded. "See? Now I can rest assured, right?" Her aunt smiled warmly and said, "No wonder Jun Seo said it was love at first sight." Hearing this, Jun Young raised an eyebrow slightly and turned to look at her. "Oh, really? Jun Seo never told me that." Her grandfather laughed and added, That's just how she is. She doesn't always say what she feels, but she will love you with all her heart. A while later, as Jun Seo was preparing a room for Jun Young, he walked in with his luggage. He glanced around and asked, "Is this your room?" "Yeah," she replied. "Where will you be sleeping tonight?" "I'm sorry if you feel uncomfortable," she hesitated. "It's fine," he replied simply. She asked softly, "Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I could have prepared a better room for you." He looked at her for a moment. Then he gently reached out and tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear, because his future wife couldn't even be bothered to contact me before the wedding. What else could I do but come find you? Surprised, she looked up at him as he gave a faint smile. "Thank you for coming," she said sincerely. Jun Young's smile deepened as he leaned down and placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. Then he pulled back, his voice soft. "Sleep well, my bride." Her heart skipped a beat. On the wedding day, everything was ready for the ceremony to begin. As Jun Young was getting ready, a friend teased him. "I can't believe you're actually getting married. Just a few days ago, your mom was forcing you to go on blind dates." "So who's the bride?" Jun Young smirked. "Definitely not one of those blind dates." His friend's voice turned serious. "So who is she?" Jun Young ignored the question and knocked on the door where Jun Seo was getting ready. Her friend opened the door, saying she wasn't ready yet, but Jun Young insisted, "I'll just be a moment." Stepping inside, he called out, "Jun Seo," but when he looked up, he froze, his eyes wide. There stood Jun Seo, in a stunning, breathtaking wedding dress. Jun Seo saw his gaze and asked, "What is it?" Realizing he had been silent for too long, Jun Young cleared his throat and gestured to his friend. "This is Kim Min Jun, my business partner and also my best man. I thought I should introduce you to. Also, Min Jun will be the MC for our wedding." She bowed politely. He beamed, thrilled to meet her. "Wow, I finally get to meet Mr. Kang's wife." After some pleasantries, Jun Young warned his friend that this was a secret marriage and not to let anyone at the company know. His friend nodded in understanding. "I'll head out first to rehearse for the ceremony." Jun Seo's friend added, "Me too." Leaving the two of them alone, both friends added before they left, "You two just relax. Prepare well and remember to smile brightly." As the door closed, Jun Young looked at Jun Seo with concern. "Do we look too nervous?" Jun Young replied confidently. "I don't, but you obviously do." She exclaimed, "If we get found out, my grandfather will be heartbroken." Placing a hand on her chest, she said softly, "So this is what it feels like. No wonder people get cold feet before their wedding." Jun Young stepped closer, placing his hands on her shoulders. "Well, according to them, maybe we should practice kissing to relax?" He leaned in, his face close, their lips just inches apart. "Do we need to practice the kiss before the ceremony?" "No, but if we do that, I'll have to get my makeup redone." He teased with a mischievous smile. She flusteredly pushed him away. "Why is kissing the only thing you ever think about?" "You pervert!" Jun Young laughed and took a step back, an amused smile on his lips. "See? You're not nervous anymore, are you?" She just stood there, flustered, watching him leave. What just happened? She thought to herself, her heart fluttering under the soft lights of the wedding venue. At the front of the aisle, Jun Young stood waiting for his bride, his gaze fixed on the path before him. And then she appeared, Jun Seo on her grandfather's arm, walking slowly and shyly forward. When their eyes met, her heart suddenly began to race, and she quickly looked down, not daring to meet his gaze. But Jun Young remained calm. His eyes followed her without wavering. When they finally reached him, Jun Young couldn't wait any longer and held out his hand. Her grandfather looked at his waiting hand, then slowly placed Jun Seo's hand in it, silently entrusting her to him in that moment. The ceremony continued as they exchanged rings. Both families couldn't hide their joy, their faces beaming with radiant smiles. Suddenly, the officiant's voice rang out. "Now is the time for the groom and bride to seal their vows with a kiss." Jun Young leaned in and whispered, "Now's the time to show the result of our practice sessions. Relax, you're as stiff as a board." But as he reached to lift her veil, Jun Seo whispered nervously, "But we've never practiced in front of this many people." He just chuckled reassuringly. "Just close your eyes." She looked up at him, her eyes wide, then slowly closed them, trusting his words. Then, Jun Young leaned down. His face was just inches from hers, and in the next second, their lips met. That kiss sealed their vows to thunderous applause from the entire hall. With that kiss, they officially became husband and wife. Later, after both sets of parents had left, Jun Seo and Jun Young saw them off with words of thanks. When it was just the two of them, the atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Finally, Jun Young broke the silence. "Do you want to shower first, or should I?" "Oh, you go first. I need to tidy up a bit." Finally, Jun Young broke the silence. "Do you want to shower first, or should I?" "Oh, you go first. I need to tidy up a bit." "Okay," Jun Seo replied. Jun Young nodded and headed to the bathroom. Left alone, she stood motionlessly by the bed. From tonight, this room was theirs. 2 large beds, clothes neatly arranged side by side, and all their shared items were clearly displayed. It made this marriage feel strangely real, especially with Jun Young's presence. He quickly returned, changed into his pajamas. "All done, you can go shower now," he said. "Are you done tidying up?" he asked. "Your mom took care of most of it," she replied. "Oh, right, of course." She probably hired someone to clean up. Seeing his pajamas, she suddenly burst out laughing. "Oh, are you wearing the pajamas we were gifted? My aunt insisted on getting us 2 identical sets." Suddenly, her eyes widened in horror as she looked deeper into the gift box. She quickly slammed the box shut. "What is it?" Jun Young asked curiously. "Ah, it's nothing. It's just a gift from Kyung-eun," she answered awkwardly. "A gift for both of us? Let me see." He stepped closer. "You don't need to." Before she could finish, they were struggling over it, causing the box to fly open and spill its contents onto the floor. "Ooh la la," her friend had written. "Kyung-eun is so thoughtful, huh? A sexy sheer nightgown. Don't look, I never wanted to accept this." She frantically bent down to pick it up. Her face beat red. "I didn't say anything," Jun Young replied, the corner of his mouth turning up. "You look so tense. What are you thinking?" She snapped back, her eyes wide. "What do you mean tense? This is my first time sharing a room with a man, so I'm just being cautious." "Actually, you're the one who's tense. Afraid I'll do something to you, aren't you?" Jun Young stepped closer, lowering his voice. "We're a married couple. We can do it any time." His thumb gently brushed against her lips. "How about it?" She instinctively pushed her hand against his chest. "How about what?" she stammered, her face as red as a tomato. He didn't say another word, leaning down, his lips lightly brushing against hers. Before locking her in a deep kiss, her eyes widened, then slowly closed, her hands clutching his shirt. In the middle of the kiss, he opened his eyes, saw her reaction, and smiled softly, then broke away and whispered, "Wait, not everyone's asleep yet. We'd better not go any further." Her face flushed. Who said anything about going further? Besides, the contract clearly states we don't sleep in the same bed. Then he laughed. "Well, I guess we'll have to wait for the honeymoon then." Does this guy ever listen to anyone? Jun Seo thought angrily as night fell in the Kang family's room. Jun Seo sat on her bed, sneaking glances at Jun Young, who was leaning on the sofa, focused on his tablet. "Calm down, Jun Seo. Just think of the wedding night as sharing a room with a roommate. He won't do anything," she reassured herself. "Feel free to turn off the lights whenever you want," Jun Young said casually. Looking over, he saw she had fallen asleep, still sitting upright on the bed. He watched her quietly for a moment. Then he gently pulled back the covers, scooped her into his arms, and laid her down more comfortably. His gaze lingered on her peaceful face. Then it slowly drifted down to her full chest and slightly parted lips. He was momentarily mesmerized. He quickly pulled the blanket up to cover her, brushing her hair behind her ear. She stirred slightly, mumbling a few words in her sleep. Then she turned over and slept soundly. The next morning came quickly, and the alarm clock rang, startling Jun Seo awake. She sat up in confusion. "When did I fall asleep?" She looked towards the empty sofa. "Don't tell me." She looked frantically to the other side of the bed, but he wasn't there either. Downstairs, Jun Seo met the housekeeper. The housekeeper greeted her warmly. "Good morning, ma'am. Madam Hae-suk usually comes down at 6:30, so it should be soon. You can wait in the living room." "Yes," Jun Seo said politely. "I understand, thank you." Just then, Madam Hae-suk came downstairs. "Oh, Jun Seo, you're awake." "Good morning, father. Good morning, mother. Did you both sleep well?" she greeted politely. "Yes, we slept well." "What about you?" Mr. Kang asked kindly. Before she could answer, Mrs. Kang interjected. "And what about Jun Young? Where is he?" "I'm here," a voice came from behind. Turning around, they saw Jun Young appear, looking like he had just returned from a run. "Oh, Jun Young," Mrs. Kang chided gently. "Why would you go running on a day like this? You should be with your wife on your first morning together." "I'm sorry, Mom," he replied sincerely. "Go shower and come down for breakfast." Mrs. Kang gently urged him, pushing him towards the stairs. As he walked past, he glanced back and saw Jun Seo chatting happily with his family. She also looked back but only saw his retreating figure. "Since you have to go to class, you don't need to help with the cooking, dear," Mrs. Kang said. "Oh, but I can help," Jun Seo said quickly, wanting to lend a hand out of guilt. After breakfast, Jun Young stood up. "Thank you for breakfast. I'm heading to work now." He turned to Jun Seo. He placed a hand lightly on her waist and leaned down to whisper in her ear, "You go ahead and finish eating. I'm leaving first." The whole family watched the scene, everyone smiling warmly. Flustered but trying to play her part, Jun Seo gently wrapped her arms around him. "I'm finished. Let me walk you to the door." Once outside, Jun Young said, half smiling, half teasing, "Your acting has really improved. It's almost natural for you now." He stopped, tilting his head to look at her. "Or maybe you're starting to like this new wife role." Embarrassed, she asked hesitantly, "Not really, but I have to ask, did you really sleep on the sofa last night?" "Yeah," he said, putting a hand on his shoulder and feigning pain. "Yeah. Now my whole body is sore. Do you think your husband is as dirty as a germ that you can't even share a bed with him?" "That was the agreement from the start," she snapped. He glanced at her, seeing her flushed cheeks, his eyes full of amusement. His smirk deepened, clearly enjoying her anger. Sitting on the bus, Jun Young's words echoed in Jun Seo's head. What did he mean by that, she wondered. Did he want her to feel guilty? "So I'd let him sleep in the same bed?" She sighed. "It's only the first day and it's already this complicated. Being Kang Jun Young's wife is harder than I thought. He's so unpredictable. How am I supposed to act? Can't he just be normal for a little while?" To make this marriage more bearable, her gaze unconsciously fell on the wedding ring on her finger. A thought suddenly struck her. "I shouldn't wear my wedding ring at school." She stopped by a nearby shop. She bought a few fashion rings to wear instead. Now, with her hands full of those rings, she continued on to school. In class, Seok Hyun asked Gyung-un, "You really haven't seen Jun Seo?" Annoyed, she snapped, "How many more times are you going to ask?" "No, I haven't." Just then, Jun Seo rushed in, panting. Immediately, Seok Hyun jumped out of his seat. "Jun Seo, sit here," he called, waving her over as she sat down. He said with a bright smile, "I saved this spot for you." "Ah, thanks," she replied. "Where have you been? It's rare to see you come in late." "You look so tired," Seok Hyun observed. "It's nothing, I just moved," she said hesitantly. "Oh, where to?" Seok Hyun asked curiously. "It's a bit far, about 40 minutes away," she explained. "Huh? Why?" "Your old place was so close to school." Before Seok Hyun could ask more, Gyung-un cut in. Her grandfather was worried about her living alone. So now Jun Seo is temporarily staying with his relatives. "Right, that's it," Jun Seo replied with a forced smile. Noticing the rings on her hand, Seok Hyun took it and asked curiously, "Since when did you start wearing rings?" Before she could answer, he came to his own conclusion, smiling mischievously. "Ah, just following a new trend, huh?" While the two were teasing each other, the door opened. Jun Young walked into the classroom, his sharp gaze immediately landing on the scene. Late that night, Jun Young returned home, unbuttoning his shirt as he walked into the living room. "Do you always come home this late?" The voice that rang out made him jump slightly. "I thought you'd be asleep by now," he said. "Not yet. I still have homework to finish," she explained. "Then why not study in the study room? Or were you waiting for me?" he teased. "Don't be so full of yourself. I'm studying," she retorted. "Do you usually study this late?" "Not really," she admitted. "Don't wait up tomorrow. Just go to sleep first," he said firmly. "I wasn't waiting," she pouted. "Yeah, you might be studying, but you don't have to stay up this late," he added before turning to change his clothes. Jun Seo's phone vibrated. She looked at the caller ID. "Ugh, why is this psycho calling me in the middle of the night?" she thought, quickly rejecting the call. "Aren't you going to answer?" Jun Young asked. "It's an unknown number." "Probably a wrong number," Jun Seo lied hesitantly. The phone rang again. "Don't ignore it. A call at this hour could be an emergency." Jun Young reluctantly prompted her to answer. "Hey Jun Seo, why are you ignoring me?" Seok Hyun's voice came through. "Do you know what time it is?" she scolded irritably. "I just wanted to talk," Seok Hyun stammered. "If it's not urgent, I'm hanging up." "I moved, remember?" she grumbled. "Are you sharing a room with an AI?" Seok Hyun's voice was suspicious. She glanced at Jun Young and replied, "Yeah, I have a roommate, so don't call randomly at night anymore. Bye." She hung up. She turned to Jun Young. "It was nothing urgent. I'm going to bed now." "About the roommate. You mean me?" Kang Jun asked. Yeah, something like that," she muttered. "Good night." He stood there, his gaze thoughtful, and said nothing more. The next morning, Jun Young woke up early as usual for his run. Jun Seo woke up alone and glanced at the empty sofa. He wakes up so early and comes home so late. Is it okay for him to sleep on the sofa like this? She wondered, feeling guilty. That night, Jun Young came home after 1 a.m., walking quietly. He saw that Jun Seo was asleep, her phone lying beside her. "I told you not to wait for me. When I'm not here, do you just call Seok Hyun until you fall asleep?" He thought to himself, his eyes darkening as he stared at the phone. Look at that face. He's starting to get jealous. Annoyed, he turned to change. When he came back, he bent down to put her phone away for her. But Jun Seo stirred, her eyes half open. "Jun Young, you're back?" she asked softly in a sleepy voice. Startled, he stammered, "Oh, it's not what you think. I was just putting your phone away." She smiled faintly, her voice soft. "I wasn't thinking anything. I just wanted to say, what if you don't sleep on the sofa?" He froze, surprised. "You've thought about it?" she explained. "Making you sleep on the sofa every night isn't right. I only made that rule because I thought there would be 2 beds, but there's only 1, so it's not fair." Seeing him still frozen, she asked quietly, "What's wrong? Are you sure?" Yeah, I was just worried it would make you uncomfortable," he replied cautiously. She turned her face away slightly and whispered, "I'm not scared. It's just that this position is a little awkward." She glanced back and caught a faint smile on his lips. She pouted playfully, "But I'm warning you, I have a habit of kicking in my sleep. And so..." Jun Young quietly lay down on the other side of the bed. She turned her back, her mind racing. "What am I doing? Letting him sleep with me. The dam has finally broken. Ha ha ha. It's just following the course of nature, right everyone?" She closed her eyes, calming herself down. "Calm down, Jun Seo. Just pretend you're camping at school." Suddenly, Jun Young gently pulled her into his arms from behind. "What are you doing?" she whispered, startled. He also whispered, "If we sleep like this, you won't kick me, and I don't want you sneaking off to the sofa after I fall asleep." The warmth of his embrace made it impossible for her to argue. Slowly, she closed her eyes and let herself relax. They both gradually fell into a peaceful sleep in each other's arms. And just like that, the ship has sailed, folks. It is what it is. The next morning, while jogging, memories of the previous night flickered in Jun Young's mind, bringing a slight smile to his lips. The guy looked clearly pleased, but he was still trying to act cool. When he got home, he went straight to Jun Seo's room. "What time is your class today? Let's go together," he called out, but the room was empty. He called her name and searched the whole house but couldn't find her. Worried, he asked his mother. She said she had an assignment to do, so she left early. Didn't she tell you? His mother replied casually. He stood there, speechless. At school, Jun Seo was with Seok Hyun and Kyung Un. Didn't she tell you? His mother replied casually. He stood there, speechless. At school, Jun Seo was with Seok Hyun and Kyung Un. Did you get enough sleep? Or did you fight with your roommate again? Seok Hyun teased. Not exactly a fight. It's just that I slept next to him for the first time last night. Jun Seo thought to herself, recalling the surprisingly pleasant feeling of sleeping next to Jun Young. His arms made me feel so safe. Because she was embarrassed, Jun Seo waited for Kang Jun to leave for his run before she left the house. Suddenly, Seok Hyun asked, "Hey, is your roommate my type?" Jun Seo frowned in annoyance. You always take every opportunity. Her friend, okay, Hyun, was just as annoyed. You're such a player. You always take every opportunity. Okay, Hyun was just as annoyed. You're such a player. What's wrong with being curious? Okay, Hyun laughed. I just want to know more about her. Just then, Kyung-un raised his hand and confessed, "Oh, I've met them before." Really? Tell us. Okay, Hyun urged excitedly. Kyung-un slowly described. She is beautiful but also has a very masculine vibe. Black hair. Seok Hyun turned to Jun Seo with a mischievous smile. Introduce me. We're friends after all. Just then, Jun Young walked up to their group. Good afternoon, he said. Everyone replied in unison, except for Jun Seo. Good afternoon, Mr. Kang. Their eyes met, and the atmosphere immediately became tense. Seok Hyun, completely unaware of their relationship, started a conversation with Jun Young, causing Kyung-un to whisper softly. Looks like he got his wish. He met Jun Seo's roommate and noticed the ring on Jun Young's hand. Seok Hyun asked curiously, Mr. Kang, you're wearing a ring. Are you married? Startled, Jun Seo and her friend immediately turned around. Yes. Reacting quickly, Kyung-un chimed in, if I'm not mistaken, that's a friendship ring from military service, right? Yeah, I've seen those too. Jun Seo quickly played along. Seok Hyun then grabbed Jun Seo's hand. See? Everyone loves wearing rings these days. Jun Seo wears one too, and it looks so cool. Ha, just like I said last night. Guys at the club wear these kinds of things. So annoying. Jun Seo snatched her hand back. What? Seok Hyun was still oblivious. Yeah, right. They look good on people. Jun Young watched in silence, his sharp gaze following their every move. Seeing his intense stare, Jun Seo started to feel pressured. He was angry. Is there something you need to tell me? Yes, that evening at home. Jun Seo asked cautiously. Why did you wear the ring today? He replied. Aren't you wearing one too? Yes, but at least I stack mine. I wear other rings to hide it, she explained. I was afraid he would recognize it. Well, let me ask you directly. Why are you bringing him into this? She retorted. Because of him, Jun Young stopped, realizing he was letting his emotions interfere with their marriage. The contract says no more. He grabbed her hand tightly, his voice cold. Never take this ring off. Her eyes widened and her face flushed at his fierce attitude. Snatching her hand back, she yelled angrily, What's wrong with you? Are you playing with my feelings? Playing with what? You're my wife, according to the contract. He answered curtly. Jun Seo argued, You're the one who wanted a marriage without feelings. She looked him straight in the eye, her voice sharp. Are you just following the contract or is there something more? What about your feelings? But he froze, unable to say a word. That night, as they lay in bed, Jun Young thought to himself, feelings. Why do they even matter? All I'm doing is playing the part of a husband. Plenty of couples live just fine without feelings. I should have said that, but why couldn't I? The next morning, during breakfast, Mrs. Kang asked cheerfully, Have you two planned your honeymoon yet? It's not good to wait too long after getting married. His father added, Don't be too busy. Take your wife on a vacation. We were thinking about Guam, Jun Seo replied. That's great, Mr. Kang said enthusiastically. When are you planning to go? Mrs. Kang asked, her voice full of anticipation. Probably in the early summer, Jun Young answered. We're adjusting it around his project schedule. Jun Seo continued. Yes, so let's go shopping this weekend, Mrs. Kang suggested enthusiastically. Jun Seo hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Yes, mother. At the mall, Jun Seo tried on a beautiful dress. It was handpicked by Mrs. Kang. Mother, I thought a t-shirt and shorts would be fine, she said shyly. You can buy what you like later, but I want to buy this for you. You look wonderful in it. Mrs. Kang was gentle but firm. Yes, thank you, mother, Jun Seo replied sincerely. By the way, since we're out, let's have dinner together. Mrs. Kang suggested. Oh, I'd love that, Jun Seo agreed eagerly. As they were leaving, a voice called from behind, Miss Hee-suk. They both turned around, and Jun Seo was stunned to see Sujin standing there, smiling brightly. It really is you. It's been so long. Miss Hee-suk greeted her warmly, then her eyes suddenly landed on Jun Seo. Jun Seo's eyes widened in shock. Jun Seo, why are you with Miss Hee-suk? Jun Seo froze, struggling to reply. Oh, Sujin, it's you. I thought it was someone else. Mrs. Kang quickly remembered Jun Seo's promise to keep the marriage a secret at school. Jun Seo quickly said, her voice trembling slightly, Miss Hee-suk is my mother's friend. We just ran into each other by chance. Really? Did you know she's Mr. Kang's mother? Sujin asked, her voice full of insinuation. Wow, I'm just finding that out now. Haha, Jun Seo lied, keeping her composure. Mrs. Hee-suk forced a smile. So, did that boy Jun Young teach you too? Yes, Jun Seo replied shyly. Yes, and Soo-jin and I are in the same class. Soo-jin's face brightened. Wow, what a small world. A moment later, Soo-jin turned to Mrs. Kang, smiling brightly. So ma'am, could we eat together? Mrs. Kang replied gently, oh, what a shame, but I already have plans with my family. So that means Jun Young will be there too. Let me tag along. What, this Soo-jin? She said enthusiastically. Mrs. Kang hesitated, not knowing how to reply as the atmosphere grew tense. Jun Seo quickly interjected. Excuse me, but I have a group project due soon, so I should head home. Thank you for today, ma'am. She bowed and hurried away, ignoring Mrs. Kang calling after her, Jun Se. But Soo-jin immediately cut in, asking cheerfully, so, what restaurant are we eating at, ma'am? While waiting for the bus, Jun Seo muttered, what do I do now? I can't go home right away because I just told Jun Young's mom I have a group project. If I get home too late, Grandma will worry. I should let her know I'm on my way. Her thoughts returned to Soo-jin. I can't believe Soo-jin is that close to Jun Young's family. She was walking slowly on the sidewalk when a car stopped right behind her. Hey, Jun Seo, I thought that was you. Seok Hyun got out and called to her. What are you doing here? She asked in surprise. I just dropped someone off at the dorms. He replied casually, then glanced at her outfit and teased. Are you dressed for a blind date or a wedding? I was just out, she replied, a bit flustered. Where are you headed now? You probably haven't eaten dinner, right? Let's go eat together. He said enthusiastically and grabbed her hand, pulling her along. Meanwhile, at TG, Jun Young sat at his desk, his eyes glued to his phone screen. His friend, Min Jin, approached with a smirk. What are you looking at? My mom sent me a restaurant address, Jun Young replied in a low voice. Min Jin burst out laughing. That place is famous for dates. Maybe she wants you to meet Jun Seo there since she's with her now. Realizing the possibility, Jun Young immediately stood up, thanked Min Jin, and hurried off. He thought to himself that Jun Seo looked unhappy earlier. Maybe this would cheer her up at the restaurant. An employee led Jun Young to a private room. He walked in, ready to surprise Jun Se. Oh, Jun Young, you're here? Mrs. Kang greeted him warmly. Yes, he replied and sat down. He turned and asked, Soo-jin, what are you doing here? Mom, didn't you say you were going shopping? Soo-jin smiled brightly. I ran into your mom earlier, and I saw Jun Seo too, but she's already gone. You know her, right? She asked casually. Jun Young's expression darkened, and he quickly took out his phone to text Jun Se. Where are you? Are you okay? I'll come pick you up. Unable to hide his worry, he suddenly stood up. Sorry, something urgent came up. He hurried away, calling Jun Seo as he walked. When she picked up, he asked urgently, Are you okay? I've been trying to call you. On the other end, she replied calmly, I'm in front of the school. I'll be home a bit late. I'm eating with a friend. Jun Young's shoulders tensed as he heard a familiar voice in the background. Ma'am, I'll have the usual and a bottle of soju. Let's go to karaoke after we eat, Jun Seo. That was Seok Hyun's voice. So she's with Seok Hyun. Why was I even worried about her? But why do I feel so annoyed? At the restaurant, Seok Hyun complained. Seo, why didn't you bring your roommate? I told you I wanted to meet her, he said. Jun Se, still glued to her phone, replied, my roommate isn't into your type. Don't be so sure. How would you know without meeting her? I'm buying you dinner. Come on, Seo. She reluctantly agreed. All right, fine, but no promises, Seok Hyun. She then excused herself to wash her hands. As Jun Se walked away, he called after her. Thanks, no problem. We're friends, she replied cheerfully. But he didn't forget to turn back and remind her, you're a persistent one. Don't forget what you promised me. But Jun Seo frowned. I told you I didn't make any promises. While waiting, her eyes landed on her wedding ring. She hesitated, then slowly took it off and put it in her purse. Looking at her bare finger, she thought, this is the first time I've taken it off. It feels so strange, but what can I do? When the food arrived, she called out to Seok Hyun, hurry up, the food's here. Suddenly, a familiar voice spoke from behind her. I finally found you. She froze, her eyes wide with shock, her hand stopping midair as she reached for the food. Jun Young stood there, breathing heavily, his gaze as sharp as a dagger fixed on her. Why is he here, she wondered. She was bewildered, her heart pounding as he sat down at the table. Seok Hyun spoke up. Oh, I didn't expect to see you here, Mr. Kang. My apologies if I'm interrupting your date, Jun Young said politely. It's not a date, we just happened to meet. Jun Se was walking alone and looked sad, so I brought her here. She was wearing a really nice dress but looked so down she barely said a word, Seok Hyun explained. You're such a good friend, Jun Young thought. Embarrassed, Jun Seo said. Seok Hyun, if you keep talking nonsense, I'm leaving. Come on, Jun Seo, eat up, Seok Hyun urged, offering her a piece of food with his chopsticks. Here, thanks, but I can feed myself. She mumbled, too surprised to refuse, then glanced at Jun Young. He was sitting there with a grim face. Oh, I'm so dead. Leaving the restaurant, Seok Hyun offered, let me take you home. You live too far. I can just take the bus. I can give you a ride. I think your house is on my way, Jun Young interjected. Mr. Kang, how do you know where she lives? Even I don't know, Seok Hyun asked curiously. You're being way too obvious, Jun Young, she thought. Jun Seo thought, flustered. Not really, Jun Young replied calmly. I just see Jun Seo around my neighborhood a lot. Oh, that's great then. Thanks for taking her home, Seok Hyun said enthusiastically. Is this guy really that naive? Jun Seo wondered. Of course, Jun Young replied with a smile. Well, I'll be off then, Seok Hyun said. My car's parked way over there. Thanks for today, sir, Seok Hyun said, waving goodbye. After he left, Jun Young turned to Jun Seo. Let's go home. You go ahead, I'll come home later, she said. I didn't come all this way just to leave you here alone, he replied firmly. So you came here just to make things awkward? She retorted. What else could I do? You weren't answering your phone and you were eating with another man. You see Seok Hyun as another man? He's just a friend, she stressed. Fine, then what about Soojin? He shot back. The one who's so close with your mother, she said, clearly annoyed. Are you jealous? He asked. Is that why you refused to have dinner with my mom? He asked. She glared at him, annoyed. What is there to be jealous about? I didn't join because I wanted to keep our marriage a secret and to save your mom the awkwardness. She turned away, her voice softer. Besides, I don't like the smell of grilled meat on my clothes. I'll just walk around until your mom's asleep. She walked silently down the street. Jun Young watched her go, then suddenly strode to catch up with her. He intertwined his fingers with hers, startling her. Her eyes met his intense gaze. Her face flushed, her thoughts racing. What is he doing? But why do I feel so happy? She wondered as they entered a nearby park. What does he think when he touches me? Is it just to stop me from leaving? Should I pull my hand away? She tried to, but he instantly tightened his grip. Lifting their intertwined hands, he asked, You took off your ring? She panicked and rushed to explain. I just took it off to be careful. Seok Hyun is very observant. I'm not even wearing any other rings. She wordlessly took the ring out of her purse. He gently took it and slid it back onto her finger, making her cheeks flush. He continued to hold her hand, leading her deeper into the park. Jun Young, look, she called out, running towards a rose bush. Inhaling the lovely fragrance, she said. Come here, Jun Young. It smells amazing. He stood still, his gaze softening as he watched her. I've been thinking a lot lately. I want to be the person you lean on when you're tired. I want your smiles to be just for me. I want to know everything about you. I've tried to hold back, but it's hard. My body just moves towards you on its own, like a butterfly desperate to escape its cage. As he was lost in thought, Jun Seo's voice pulled him back. The roses here smelled just like the ones in my room. The scent was still on me when I left the house, but I guess I was at the barbecue place for too long. She leaned in towards him and sniffed gently. You still smell like roses, she said, looking up at him softly. Can you still smell them on me? His gaze darkened with intensity. He didn't want to let her go, not to anyone. He leaned down until they were only a breath apart. He wanted her completely. But before she could answer, his lips were on hers. She was surprised, but she didn't pull away. She returned his kiss, wrapping her arms around him as he pulled her even closer. They both felt warmth and happiness slowly fill them, washing away all their long-held worries. Finally, they smiled. It was as if butterflies, long imprisoned, were finally set free to fly as summer vacation began. They finally set off for their honeymoon. Sitting next to Jun Young on the flight, Jun Seo thought to herself. Sitting next to him for hours wasn't easy, especially after that night. A few weeks had passed. Nothing significant had happened between them. They hadn't even mentioned the kiss once. Were there any real feelings involved? She wondered. A flight attendant approached and asked softly, Sir Jun Young, do you need anything? He politely replied, I'm fine, thank you. As the flight attendant left, Jun Young leaned towards Jun Seo and quietly asked, Can you help me out a bit? Getting asked all the time like this, she teased back. What can you do? Your mom gave birth to such a handsome son. He gently took her hand and rested her head on his chest. This is what he meant. She looked down at their intertwined hands, then gently closed her eyes, feeling a strange peace as they landed in Guam. Jun Seo's jaw dropped at the sight of the hotel room. Wow, this room is gorgeous. You can see the ocean, and there's a jacuzzi too. It's perfect. She excitedly ran towards the bedroom but froze when she saw the decorated bed. It was covered in flowers, screaming honeymoon. Before she could react, Jun Young came in with the luggage and saw her standing there, frozen. He approached her with concern. Choi Jun Seo, why are you frozen like that? No, the bedroom is just really impressive, she stammered. So where do you want to go first, he asked. Whatever, I'll go wherever you go, she replied instantly. Then let's go see this first. He smiled, took her hand, and led her outside to the beach. Jun Seo sighed contentedly. It's so beautiful. I just want to sit here drinking soda and watch the sunset forever. I wish I could live here. I didn't expect you to like this honeymoon so much. He teased. Who wouldn't like being on vacation? She smiled playfully. And besides, I'm happy I finally get to go on a honeymoon with you. He tilted his head and asked, What do you mean? We've been so busy. We never had time to really talk. I want to get closer to you. She confessed with a gentle gaze. He looked at her, sensing the sincerity in her eyes. Then, he suddenly broke into a teasing smile. You're not talking about our wedding night, are you? Her face flushed in embarrassment. Turning to walk back to the room, she thought, Forget it. I guess I'm the only one who feels this way. I'm just his toy, she thought sadly. But before she could take a step, Jun Young grabbed her hand. Sorry, I was just kidding. She forced a smile. I was kidding too. Anyway, this honeymoon is just for show. No, he said, pulling her into a tight hug. I want to get closer to you too. They held each other in silence, savoring the moment. A little later, in the hotel room, Jun Young called out, Are you done yet? He called into the bathroom. She replied shyly, Just a second. The swimsuit your mom bought is nice, but I'm not used to it. Why not? He asked, unbuttoning his shirt. He heard no answer. So he walked right up and pushed the bathroom door open without warning. You can't just barge in like that. She jumped. Her face beat red. His face flushed too when he saw her in the bright red swimsuit. It's so tight and I told you to wait. And why are you walking around shirtless? She chided, flustered. He quickly wrapped a towel around her and said seriously, we're going swimming, but don't wear this. Change into something else. But your mother gave it to me, she explained hesitantly. But I didn't bring any other swimsuit. Then she shyly suggested, how about we just relax in the jacuzzi instead? If it's just you, I don't mind. Jun Young's face turned red. He turned away abruptly. No, let's go buy another one. You said you felt uncomfortable, right? Later that afternoon, they walked side by side along the beach, enjoying the sunset. They sat down together, sipping their drinks. Then, Jun Young suddenly asked, is Gyo Yoon your childhood friend? They sat down together, sipping their drinks. Then, Jun Young suddenly asked, is Gyo Yoon your childhood friend? Yes, she knows everything about me, even things my grandfather doesn't, she replied. He teased, so can I ask her about all your secrets? You could, or you could just ask me directly what you want to know, she replied, her eyes sparkling with a challenge. He put his arm around her waist and leaned in close. I want to know everything. Her cheeks flushed, but before she could answer, she saw some fellow Koreans in the distance. What if someone recognizes us? She whispered nervously. We're in Guam, far from Seoul, it's fine, he reassured her. Still, she got up awkwardly. I'm just going to the restroom for a bit. I'll be right back. Jun Young was left feeling deflated, unsure what to do. Jun Seo leaned against the mirror, wondering, is he mad that I left? We've kissed. But since that night, everything has been so different. She placed a hand on her pounding heart and recalled Gyeong-eun's words. No one kisses just for practice. Gyeong-eun had said firmly. That's just an excuse. You two actually like each other. You're saying Jun Young likes me too? Jun Seo asked, confused. What? Gyo-yoon laughed mischievously. Him too. So you have feelings for him? Oh my god, my friend Choi Jun Seo is finally in love. Realizing her feelings, Jun Seo rushed outside. She was about to call for Jun Young but froze, her eyes widening in shock. Next to Jun Young stood Soojin, her arm linked intimately with his. Oh, Choi Jun Seo, you're here too? Are you with Gyo-yoon? Soojin asked cheerfully, while Jun Seo stood frozen, unable to process the scene in front of her. Her heart sank, but she quickly composed herself and forced a smile. Are you here on vacation too? Unfortunately, no. I'm here for a photo shoot. I wish it was a vacation though. Soojin sighed with a sad face. Then she smiled brightly. But it's not so bad since Jun Young is here. He even ordered my favorite drink for me. See? Soojin clung excitedly to Jun Young's arm. Isn't that my drink? Isn't that for me? Jun Seo thought, confused. Soojin didn't give Jun Seo a chance to speak. Oh right, where's Gyo-eun? You should go find her. Don't worry about us. Jun Seo was speechless with anger. Huh? Is she trying to kick me out? Suddenly, a staff member approached. Miss Soojin, we're ready for you. It's time for your makeup touch-up. Soojin got up, pulling Jun Young along with her. Come with me. Jun Young, come watch my photo shoot. Everyone will be so happy to see you there, but I have plans with someone else, he replied indifferently. Oh, that's not possible, is it? Soojin tilted her head, her eyes sparkling mischievously. No, of course not. See you later, Mr. Kang and Soojin. Jun Seo quickly cut in, waving goodbye. Jun Young glanced back at her with an unreadable expression before Soojin pulled him away. Jun Seo simply stood and watched them leave. At the photo shoot, a man who looked like the director asked, Jun Young, are you Soojin's friend or a model? No, I'm not a model, he replied blandly. Wow, really? You're handsome and built like a model. Do you want to join the shoot as a model? No. Thank you, you're flattering me. Just then, Soojin came over and asked with a smile, Mr. Kim, isn't Jun Young great? Director Kim turned back. Yeah, he totally is. And wow, Soojin, you look like a goddess, Soojin asked with a bright smile. What were you and Jun Young talking about? Ha, just idle chat, nothing important. Director Kim laughed dismissively. Jun Young looked at Soojin thoughtfully, probably worried that his wife in name only was furious somewhere. Now that she's realized she's in love, to have her man suddenly dragged off by another woman. Who wouldn't be mad? Soojin turned back towards Jun Young. What do you think, Jun Young? How do I look? Jun Young didn't look pleased, but was still polite. You look fine, can I go now? Sorry, Soojin, I have something to do. Good luck with the shoot. Soojin held his arm, her voice sweet. What's the rush? Stay and watch me for a little while. A voice from the side called out, you two look like a real couple. A perfect match. Soojin was visibly delighted to hear that and asked, haha, really? We look good together, right? Maybe you should hire me for your wedding photos. Jun Young didn't hesitate for a second. He turned to leave decisively. Sorry, but I'm not interested. I'm leaving now. Soojin's eyes flickered with disappointment. Perhaps she understood that no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't change his mind. He hurried back to where he had last seen Jun Seo, calling her name, but it was empty. She had disappeared. He rushed back to the hotel and searched everywhere. The living room, the bedroom, even the bathroom, but there was no trace of her anywhere. When he took out his phone to call her, he heard it ringing from a shelf in the bathroom. She left her phone here. A wave of worry washed over me. Where could she have gone? She doesn't know anyone here. Unlike last time when she ran off with Seok Hyun after seeing Soojin, now Seok Hyun isn't here. I couldn't even contact her. A flood of unanswered questions rushed in. Just then the door suddenly opened. He turned around to see Jun Seo walk in, closing the door behind her. "Where did you go?" He quickly walked over and asked urgently. "Oh, I just went out to buy a swimsuit," she explained gently. "You should have told me." His voice was still tense. "How could I? Sujin was with you. You two were together for so long. But don't worry, I didn't misunderstand." He suddenly grabbed her hands tightly, causing her shopping bag to fall. He pulled her into a tight hug. "I was so worried about you, you know. Is this the feeling you talked about?" Choi Jun Young whispered in her ear. Her face flushed red, feeling his warmth. Jun Seo remembered her best friend's words. "It's just jealousy." "Jun Seo, just accept it. You two clearly like each other." Jun Seo slowly wrapped her arms around him. They held each other tightly when suddenly the doorbell rang. This girl has the worst timing. She shows up right as things are heating up. "Jun Young, it's Sujin." Her voice called from outside. Jun Seo panicked and turned away. "Jun Young, it's Sujin." "What should we do?" He cut her off, his voice calm. "I didn't invite her, just ignore her. Let's stay like this. Don't worry about her." Although Sujin kept knocking and calling outside, they remained silent in each other's arms. After a while, Sujin hesitated, wondering to herself. The front desk said this was the right room, or maybe he went out. Then she finally left. Realizing Sujin was gone, Jun Seo asked worriedly, "Jun Young, how can you tell me not to care?" "What do you mean?" He turned to her. "It would be dangerous if she saw us together. We almost got caught." He asked in a low, worried voice, "Are you that scared?" "Scared that everyone at school will find out about our marriage." She answered, "It's not that, but if she finds out, she will make a huge scene." "It's obvious she likes you," Jun Seo confessed. "I don't care and I don't like her," he replied firmly. "Besides, we are on our honeymoon right now," he said softly, his finger gently touching her lips. "So just focus on me and forget everything else," he whispered, lifting her chin. He leaned down, wrapping his arm around her waist. "From now on, you are not allowed to go out without me," Choi Jun Young said possessively. Then he captured her lips in a deep kiss. She kissed him back, one hand around his neck, the other gripping his shirt. The kiss grew more passionate, their breathing heavy. His lips moved down her neck, leaving a trail of hot kisses. It made her moan softly. When their eyes met, she saw love in his, desire and longing. Overwhelmed by the wave of emotion, she shyly looked away, her heart pounding. Right after he lifted her up, her legs wrapping tightly around his waist. Instinctively, she put her arms around his neck for support. His lips found hers again in an even more passionate kiss. She held on to him tightly with her arms and legs. As if afraid to lose him, if she let go, she was completely lost in the moment. He walked steadily towards the bedroom. He gently laid her down on the soft mattress, his body covering hers. His eyes slowly roamed over her gentle face, memorizing every feature. He intertwined his fingers with hers, pinning her hands lightly to the bed. And as the night passed, it became clear this was no longer just a contract marriage. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the window. Clothes were scattered on the floor and unfinished glasses of wine sat on the table. Jun Seo slowly opened her eyes. "It's still early, go back to sleep. I will wake you up in an hour." Jun Young's voice was gentle. Jun Seo opened her eyes wide to look at him, embarrassment clear on her face. She suddenly woke up, sat up quickly, and pulled the blanket around herself. He wrapped his arms around her from behind. "Did you forget, or do we need a reminder?" he teased. Then he leaned down and placed a light kiss on her forehead. "Don't worry, I am just kidding. But I wouldn't mind holding you a little longer," he whispered, pulling her closer. She relaxed in his embrace. Resting her head on his chest, she could hear his steady heartbeat. The sound brought her an indescribable peace. Slowly, she looked up, wrapped her arms around his neck, and placed a gentle kiss on his lips. "I don't know why his heartbeat calms me and makes me feel so safe," she thought. "It even feels like our hearts are beating as one." As it was the last day of their honeymoon, Jun Young asked, "Have you packed everything yet?" Seeing her standing quietly on the balcony, he walked over and asked gently, "What are you doing out here alone?" "I wanted to call Grandpa," Jun Seo replied. He hugged her gently from behind and whispered, "Don't stand out here alone anymore. He will just worry more." When the call connected, her grandfather's warm voice came through. "How are you two doing?" Meanwhile, her aunt playfully scolded, "Why are you calling so late? You only remember us on the last day." "We are sorry, Auntie," Jun Young smoothly replied. "We were too busy enjoying our time together, we forgot." "Well, that's good." The aunt laughed knowingly. "Maybe there will be good news soon." Jun Young laughed and held Jun Seo tighter. "Don't worry, Auntie, we will do our best." Jun Seo's whole family was happy and gave their blessings. Her grandfather told them to travel safely. "I am glad you two had a wonderful time there." After her grandfather's goodbyes, he waved at the phone and added, "Don't worry, Grandpa. I will take good care of Jun Seo." After the call, Jun Seo smiled and thanked him. Grandpa sounded so happy. "And what about you?" he asked softly, his gaze gentle. She looked out at the sea, her voice light. "I am happy seeing him so happy too." "I am glad to hear that." His eyes sparkled with affection. Back in Seoul, they went to visit Gyeong-eun. "You two really look like a newlywed couple back from their honeymoon," her friend teased. "But something seems different about you, Jun Seo. Don't tell me something happened during the honeymoon." Gyeong-eun squinted knowingly. "Stop it." Jun Seo looked down to avoid her gaze, but her friend wouldn't stop teasing. "A honeymoon, huh? So what usually happens?" Jun Young laughed and asked the two girls. "Do you mind if I join you while I wait for Min-jun?" "Of course not," Gyeong-eun replied immediately. "Yes," Gyeong-eun added mischievously. "Then you can ask anything you want about Jun Seo while you wait." "I don't mind." Jun Seo cut in. Why don't you just ask me directly? Ignoring her, Kyung-eun giggled. Okay then. What do you want to know? Is it true that Jun Seo has kissed 108 times? Jun Young asked, his eyes twinkling with mischief. 108 times. Did you really say that? Kyung-eun burst out laughing. No way, Jun Seo would never. Kyung-eun waved her hand dismissively, still laughing. She has never even dated anyone before. Jun Young raised an eyebrow. So what's this about a 108th kiss? Jun Seo mumbled, embarrassed but pretending to be annoyed. Well, yeah, it was. You were my first kiss. Thanks a lot, are you happy now? Just then Min Jun walked in. Jun Young, sorry, I am late. Hi Min Jun. Jun Seo greeted him quickly. Hi Jun Se, hi Kyung-eun. Nice to see you both, but we have to go now, Min Jun said. He signaled for Jun Young to follow. See you at home, Jun Seo said, pushing Jun Young out the door before turning back. Kyung-eun couldn't resist teasing her more. So about those 108 kisses, Jun Se groaned. But my husband has the right to know. Kyung-eun said, laughing. By the way, did my gift come in handy during the honeymoon? Jun Seo's face flushed. Actually, something else happened. What? Kyung-eun asked curiously. Jun Seo then told her the whole story about Sujin showing up unexpectedly during their honeymoon. It would be unbelievable if it were just a coincidence. So is Sujin really stalking Mr. Kang? Kyung-eun guessed. No, it was probably a coincidence because I haven't seen her since. Jun Seo thought for a moment, then said, but I need your help again if you don't mind. Of course not. What do you need? Kyung-eun asked. Before she could explain, her phone rang. It was Seok Hyun. His voice was full of excitement. I have good news for you. What is it? She asked. Hey, remember that blind date I went on? Her friend just offered me an internship at their company. Do you want to join? He asked excitedly. Hey, why did you only invite her? What about me? Kyung-eun cut in, pouting. Wait, why is Kyung-eun there too? Are you two hanging out again? Why didn't you invite me? Seok Hyun teased. Meanwhile, Jun Seo thought to herself that it was a good idea. But should I ask Jun Young for permission? Better to ask him first. That evening, Jun Seo was sitting on the sofa. Scrolling through the company info Seok Hyun sent. Jun Young walked in drying his wet hair. I thought you were asleep, he said. She turned around startled. Why are you naked? She stammered quickly, covering her face. What is there a problem? This is my room too, he said nonchalantly, leaning down to pinch her cheek, making it puff up. Seeing your roommate like this is normal. Is that right? Stop teasing me, Jun. Young has been bugging me all day. She grumbled. She asked about the gift from last time, right? He smirked. Yep, that's right. Jun Seo admitted, her face blushing. So do you regret not using it? He asked, leaning closer. Wait, she cried out, covering her mouth. I have something to tell you. I don't know if I need your permission, but I want to do an internship. He was silent for a moment, wondering why. I want to spend the rest of the vacation doing something meaningful and gaining experience, she said sincerely. Then do an internship at TG Corp, he suggested, putting his arm around her shoulder. That's exactly why I want to do it on my own, she said firmly. You really are special, he chuckled. Okay, but first you owe me a reward. Huh, what reward? Don't tell me. TG Corp charges its employees this way, she joked. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that before? He teased, leaning closer. She touched his lips with her finger. She declared, no way, don't even dream, it will be that easy. Oh really? He narrowed his eyes, smiling provocatively. Just try and stop me, he said in a low voice, closing the distance. The next day, Jun Se was waiting at a coffee shop. Seok Hyun rushed over, panting. Sorry I'm late, I overslept. You could have at least sent me a text. She chided him. Just forget it, we don't need to research the company anymore. He announced excitedly. What do you mean? Why did you change your mind? She asked. No, haven't you heard? Mr. Kang's company just started an internship program. Because we got the highest scores on the last test, we got accepted directly, he explained, his face beaming. It's a good thing. I was in the same group as you, he said with a wide, smug grin. Meanwhile, Jun Seo's mind was reeling, her thoughts racing. This has to be Kang Jun's doing. I really underestimated him. He tricked me. The next morning, Jun Seo announced Mom's starting next week. I'm going to do an internship during this break. Mrs. Kang asked worriedly, are you out of money? Didn't Jun Young give you his card? What? Jun Seo answered with a smile. It's not like that, Mom. This internship will be helpful for my future career. Yes, Mr. Kang nodded. So which company are you planning to intern at? Tell me, and I will help you get in touch. Flustered Jun Seo quickly grabbed Jun Young's hand for support. No need. Dad, Jun Young quickly explained. Jun Se and a few other students will be interning at my company, so you two can rest assured. Hearing that, the tense couple finally relaxed. As they walked to the parking lot, Jun Seo called out resentfully, Jun, wait. Don't you think you owe me an explanation? Then Jun Young opened the car door, turned to look at her nonchalantly, and said, there is nothing to explain. Jun Seo slammed her hand on the car door, closing it, and said angrily, you tricked me yesterday. You said I could intern wherever I wanted. And yet today you suddenly announced this internship program. He smirked and said slowly, oh, that? I never agreed to let you intern at another company, but I didn't force you to stay at mine either. He lifted her chin, his gaze gentle but firm. I simply want to be with my wife. That's all. Jun Seo puffed her cheeks, but then realized arguing was pointless. Fine, but don't treat me any differently than the other interns, she said seriously. He smiled and replied, okay, as you wish. On the first day at TG Corp, manager Iomi warmly welcomed everyone. Welcome to our company. We focus on hotel planning and resorts. Soon we will be launching a hotel project in Johnson. We look forward to your support over the next month. Before we begin, does anyone have any questions? Seok Hyun raised his hand. Yes, please go ahead. He asked how old are you, causing the whole room to fall silent as the atmosphere became awkward. Yoon Young Mi replied a bit flustered. Please only ask work-related questions. Suddenly another woman entered. In a serious voice, she said, please save personal questions for after work. Everyone turned to look at her. Yoon Young Mi introduced. This is Jun Hyung, Director Kang's secretary. The group greeted her in unison. Good morning, Secretary Jun, she replied. Good morning. Who are Jun Seo and Seok Hyun? Director Kang is calling for you. Walking through the office, Jun Seo thought to herself, so this is what Jun Young's company looks like. Jun Hyung opened the door and announced Director Kang, they are here. She gestured for them to enter. Thank you, Secretary. Seok Hyun said politely. As she entered, Jun Seo saw Jun Young sitting behind his desk, focused on some documents. This is the first time I've seen his office, and the way he works, she thought to herself. Jun Young looked up and said calmly, welcome to the company. I hope this internship provides you with valuable knowledge and experience. Thank you for giving us this opportunity, Jun Seo replied with a mischievous smile. We will make the most of it. Actually, Jun Seo and I almost interned at another company, he added. Jun Young's expression darkened. Oh, so you two plan to intern together, he asked in a low voice. Of course, without me, Jun Seo would be completely lost. Haha, Seok Hyun teased, causing Jun Seo to give him a quick glare. Then Jun Young picked up a tablet and said coldly, alright, if you have any questions, ask Secretary Jun, now get to work. As they left the office, Jun Seo glanced back at Jun Young, seeing him already focused on his work. Why is he being so cold? Jun Seo glanced back at Jun Young, again seeing him already focused on his work. Why is he being so cold? She thought about it unhappily. A while later, as Jun Seo was looking for a file, Seok Hyun asked, what are you looking for? Ms. Young Mi told me to get last year's hotel project file, but I can't find it anywhere, she replied. Pulling a file from the cabinet, Seok Hyun exclaimed, ah, you mean this one? Jun Seo was surprised. How is that possible? I checked everywhere, how did I miss it? Seok Hyun took the file and tapped her lightly on the head. He laughed and teased. You must be distracted because you're hungry, you silly girl. After I give this to Ms. Young, let's go eat. Realizing he might have hit her too hard, he rubbed her head and teased. Oh, did I hit you too hard? Annoyed, she pushed his hand away. Hey, get off me. Just then, Jun Young walked by, his sharp gaze clearly showing his annoyance. Move the 4 p.m. meeting to 8 a.m. tomorrow. Jun ordered, decisively walking with his associates. Seeing him, Jun Seo bowed politely. Good afternoon, sir. But Jun Young walked past as if he didn't even see her. He just ignored me. Her eyes widened as she turned to look. She saw him cheerfully nod at another employee, who bowed to him while walking right behind Director Kang Kim. Min Jun smiled and waved at her. Jun Seo's annoyance and confusion grew. Even Min Jun just greeted me. So how dare he ignore me like that? We're colleagues, is it that hard to respond or smile at me? I told him not to treat me differently, she thought irritably. The next day, while Jun Seo was at her desk, she overheard two colleagues talking. Hey, I rode the elevator with Director Kang this morning and he even held the door for me. He seems cold, but he's actually very nice, one said. Yeah, whoever marries him would be so lucky. Do I have a chance? The other joked. Hearing this, Jun Seo thought bitterly. So he is still nice to other people. He just hasn't returned my greeting since that day. He doesn't even treat me like an employee, and it's hard to see him since he's always so busy. Jun Seo clenched her fists, trying to suppress her anger. He only approaches me when he needs something. The idea of interning at his office was a mistake from the beginning. Just then, Young Mi called out Jun Seo. Can you go get us some coffee? Yes, of course, Jun Seo replied. As she passed Jun Young's office, she glanced inside but told herself, focus on your work. Jun Seo, stop overthinking. At the elevator, just as the doors were closing, she quickly called out, hold it. The doors opened and she stepped in saying thank you, but when she looked up, her eyes widened in shock. It was Jun Young. He stared at her and asked curtly, are you getting in? She replied yes, and stepped into the elevator. Which floor? The ground floor, please. Thank you. They both stood in silence, the atmosphere tense and suffocating. Unable to stand it any longer, she said, Jun Young, are you mad at me? He tilted his head, his voice cold. Why would you think that? Besides, aren't you hiding something from me too? You planned to intern with Seok Hyun from the very beginning. Why didn't you just say so? Annoyed, she grabbed his hand. Why are you bringing him up again? Are you suspicious of me? That's why I'm angry and have been avoiding you. He turned slightly, his voice low. Do you think any husband wouldn't be heartbroken when he sees his wife always with another man? No, before she could reply, the elevator stopped and the doors opened. Hello, Kang, and hello, Jun Seo. Seok Hyun smiled and greeted them. Just then, Jun Young stepped out of the elevator and said curtly, hello, Seok Hyun. I'm leaving first. As Seok Hyun stepped into the elevator, he noticed Jun Seo's eyes were welling up with tears. Jun Seo, are you crying? Are you okay? What's wrong? He asked worriedly. Hearing this, Jun Young turned his head back. But the elevator doors had closed. What did I just do? Jun Young thought to himself. A sense of guilt washed over him. He turned and rushed towards the stairs, muttering as he ran. Why did I leave her with Seok Hyun? When he arrived, he saw Jun Seo and Seok Hyun buying coffee together. He froze, just watching, unable to take another step. Just then, his phone rang. He listened for a few seconds, then replied, okay, I'll be right there. Glancing at the two of them one last time, he turned and walked away. They were on their way back with coffee. Seok Hyun asked, are you really okay? If you're not feeling well, you should take a day off. I told you I'm fine, Jun Seo replied firmly. Okay, but if you feel tired, remember to tell me. Seok Hyun said softly as they stepped into a crowded elevator. Okay, he gently stood in front of her to shield her. It is so crowded. No, I'm fine, Jun Seo replied softly. He stood there in the crowd, Seok Hyun's gaze quietly resting on her, a strange emotion flickering in his eyes. Late that evening at the Kang mansion, when Jun Young returned, he softly called for Jun Se. But she was already asleep. He gently took her hand, lay down beside her, and held her in his arms. He whispered in her ear, Jun Seo, I don't know if you're really asleep or just pretending to avoid me. But I want to say this, just like you don't like Sujin clinging to me, I can't stand seeing Seok Hyun with you all the time. The next day, Assistant Young Mi told Jun Se, please take the contract to Secretary Jun. Arriving at the office, Jun Seo met the director's secretary, Secretary Jun Hyung, who handed her a file. You're lucky Director Kang managed to sign it before he left. The director has a meeting today, so he can't go. Min Jun will go in his place. Take the file. Jun Seo glanced towards the office door, wondering to herself, is he still mad? Secretary Jun asked, Seo, do you need anything else? Oh, thank you, Secretary Jun, I'm fine. At the hotel, when Jun Seo opened the file, she discovered it was empty. Look around, maybe it fell somewhere. We have to find it before the client arrives. Yomi, another employee, suggested, Senior, how about we print a new copy? Yomi objected, we can't. The other contract already has the director's signature. The director isn't here today to sign it again. Seok Hyun, on the phone, said happily, I just called the office. It's in the office, right next to Jun Seo's desk. The group was as happy as if they'd won the lottery. Jun Seo breathed a sigh of relief. She immediately bowed her head. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. I was too careless. It's okay, but be more careful next time, Yang Mi gently advised. Can someone from the office bring the file over? She asked. Yes. Jun Seo took responsibility. Let me go get it. It's my fault for being careless. Young Mi calculated the time. It'll take over 20 minutes to get to the office from here, and then you have to come all the way back. Let me go. I have a car, Seok Hyun quickly offered. The young man held up his car keys. Don't underestimate this, Seok Hyun. That evening, the team gathered to celebrate the project's success, raising their glasses to Seok Hyun, who saved the contract. Kim Min-jun turned to congratulate manager Mi and her associates. At that moment, Jun Seo whispered again, I'm sorry, but Seok Hyun just waved it off cheerfully. The important thing is we succeeded, so let's just enjoy ourselves now, he said with an excited smile. Just then, Young Mi called out loudly, Oh, the director, Kang is here. Jun Young walked in with his usual calm demeanor. Good evening, everyone, he said, to celebrate today's success. Feel free to order anything you want, he added, causing the whole room to cheer excitedly. Jun Se glanced at him, her expression unreadable. As Jun Young sat down with the group, he turned to Seok Hyun, clearly teasing him. Clearly teasing him. Your training wasn't a waste at all, was it? Of course not. I told you I wouldn't disappoint you, teacher. Ha ha. Ah, Teacher Kang teaches at my school, Seok Hyun explained. A lot of people must admire you. Do you know if he has a girlfriend? Young Mi asked softly. Before Seok Hyun could answer, Jun Young spoke up. I don't have one. Gathering her courage, Young Mi asked, Well, is there someone you like? Jun Seo glanced quickly at Jun Young, her heart pounding. I want to know what he'll say. Finally, he answered. Who knows? Jun Seo glanced quickly at Jun Young, my heart pounding. I want to know what he'll say. Finally, he answered. Who knows? Besides, I don't think any woman would have feelings for me with a face like this. Why not? Yang Mi asked unexpectedly, drawing everyone's attention to her. Jun Seo froze at the question, stammering, Huh? Before she could answer. Jun Young had already placed a piece of meat on her plate, his voice calm but full of hidden meaning. That's right, Jun Seo. At the same time, Seok Hyun also put meat on her plate, saying softly, You don't need to, sir. I'm always the one who takes care of Jun Seo. Young Mi smiled teasingly. Seok Hyun is always taking care of Jun Seo, huh? Then she turned to Jun Young and asked, Director, were they a couple in school? Seok Hyun casually put his arm around Jun Seo's shoulder and replied, We're just best friends. Were they a couple in school? Seok Hyun casually put his arm around Jun Seo's shoulder and replied, We're just best friends. Sooner or later, you'll be attracted to her, especially a beautiful girl like Choi. Jun Se finally spoke up, her voice firm. Sir, I think you've had too much to drink today. I don't believe friends always develop feelings for each other. I have never liked Seok Hyun. Actually, if we tried to date, we'd probably just get on each other's nerves, I said, turning to him gently. But I've never found you annoying, Seok Hyun said in return. Actually, I even like you. Jun Seo's eyes widened, completely stunned. Meanwhile, Jun Young's expression darkened as if his suspicions had just been confirmed as the party ended. Everyone thanked each other and started to leave. Jun Seo, let me take you home, it's late, Seok Hyun offered. That's not necessary, Jun Seo replied firmly. Suddenly, Jun Young appeared, placing a hand on her shoulder and said, We're going the same way, let me take you home, he said in a firm voice, taking her hand. Seok Hyun immediately noticed and quickly grabbed her other hand. Director Kang, you've had a lot to drink. Let me take Jun Seo home. You should wait for your driver, he said quickly. Don't worry, I have a private driver today, Jun Young replied, his gaze cold before the tension escalated. Jun Seo softly called Seok Hyun's name. He turned to look at her and she said gently, It would be inconvenient if you took me home. So I'll go with Director Kang. It's better this way, she said softly, pulling her hand away from Seok Hyun's. As she walked away with Jun Young, she looked back and waved. See you tomorrow, Seok Hyun. Afterwards, Seok Hyun stood frozen, watching her figure disappear with Jun Young at the Kang house. As soon as they entered the bedroom, Jun Young slammed the door shut, pushed her back against it, and kissed her passionately, as if he had been craving the taste of her lips for days. But when he pulled away, his breath warm against her ear, he whispered, "Finally, I get to see you awake, not sleeping anymore." Jun Seo touched her lips, alarmed. "Wait, how could you do that?" Her voice was sharper than he expected. "Is this fun for you? Getting mad for no reason and then ignoring me?" "I never left you alone," Jun Young replied firmly. She broke free from his embrace, frustrated. "What about that time in the elevator, and then disappearing quietly the next morning?" Jun Young's eyes fell. He thought sadly, "So you were really asleep that night? How could you not realize I came back and held you all night?" "Jun Young, I don't want any misunderstandings. Actually, I've thought a lot about my feelings. I like you, even more than before." Her voice grew softer and gentler as she confessed. Jun Young's eyes widened slightly when he heard those words. "But I'm scared," she sobbed. "You're always teasing me. If you don't want to reciprocate, it's okay. You can just pretend you didn't hear me." Suddenly, Jun Young pulled her tightly into his arms. "No way, I'm not joking. I'm being serious. From the beginning of this marriage, I've liked you, and now I'm always thinking about you, longing to be with you," he whispered before leaning down to kiss her even more deeply. The next morning, in the TG Court parking lot, Jun Seo hesitated. "Jun Young, I think I should get out first. What if someone sees us?" "Are you afraid Seok Hyun will see?" Jun Young asked, his eyes narrowing slightly. "Why are you bringing him up again? I told you, he's just my friend." "Don't you have any female friends?" she asked, annoyed. "No, none," he answered nonchalantly. "Whatever, I'm leaving first," she said, shaking her head and opening the door. But before she could get out, he grabbed her hand. "You haven't paid me back yet," he said, pointing to his cheek. Understanding what he meant, she looked at him for a second, then leaned in close and whispered, "It'll be troublesome if someone sees." Just as her lips neared his cheek, Jun Young suddenly turned and captured them instead. She quickly pushed on his chest to resist, but he held her tighter, prolonging the kiss. Finally, Jun Seo managed to break free and rushed out of the car, her face flushed, with Jun Young following closely behind. But just as they got out of the car, a voice called out, "Choi Jun Seo and Director Kang. Why are you two in the same car?" Young-mi asked. Jun Seo quickly replied, "Oh, we just happened to run into each other. So he just gave me a ride." Young-mi smiled knowingly. "Is that so? But director, you might want to wipe that lipstick off your lips." Then she playfully covered her eyes, saying, "Well, I'll be on my way," and left, leaving an awkward tension in the office. While Jun Seo was still trying to compose herself, Seok Hyun came over and whispered, "Are you close with the director?" She quickly waved her hands. "No, not at all. You're overthinking it." Before he could ask more, Young-mi called out, "Seok Hyun, can you get the files from the sales department for me?" As he walked away, Seok Hyun glanced back at Jun Young, thinking to himself, Jun Seo isn't the type to get close to people easily. But they seemed really close. Was it just because he gave her a ride? Or am I overthinking this? Seok Hyun wondered to himself at the company coffee station. Startled, Jun Seo whispered anxiously, "What are you doing here? What if someone sees us and starts rumors? We need to be careful." Jun Young nonchalantly said, "Or maybe we should just tell them about the marriage, so we don't have to hide anymore." "No more hiding.